Lakeside Speedway. Gary Donaldson is going to win the Grand National class.
Championships. Probably the best race I've ever seen was Kerry and Gene at the points 89, I don't know, 2003 maybe?
I believe it was 2003. The safety lights are out in the Speedway.
Here we go, folks, with the 2010 season in the A main for the street stocks. Brad Whitney on the pole, Phil Snodgrass on the outside, Nate Barnes, Jason Ryan, Ed Beaudre, Scott Christie. That's your first three rows. You'll have to excuse me, but I think that's Jason Ryan in the lead in the 08. And it is. Jason Ryan comes around and takes the white flag as he is really up to the back of a heavy traffic here now. Surely he will just lay back. It looks like he's intent to follow Shelby Manthe around to the checkered flag. And we've got a wreck here on the straightaway. There's Jason Ryan as he comes out of the car here, your winner of the factory stock A main here at Lakeside Speedway tonight. And he not only won this race, he devastated this field as he just about put a lap on the entire field. He was catching up with some heavy lap traffic at the end, but once again, your winner for the factory stocks on the first night at Lakeside Speedway, Jason Ryan. Well, folks, it's time for the big bodies. Grand Nationals. Got your Gary Donaldson on the front row. Beside him, last year's points champion, that's Chad Clancy. Return of Gene Claxton to the Grand Nationals. Pell Lanferman, Tim Shields, Mike Taylor Jr. Your first three rows. Donaldson leads just momentarily on the bottom, and then Chad Clancy runs around him on the top. Tim Shields making a dive down to the bottom. Chad Clancy will lead the first lap for the Grand Nationals here in 2010 at Lakeside Speedway. Man, they're going to come out of turn 2, it looks like, too wide. Claxton looking to the outside now. Clancy kind of backs out. Gene Claxton now your leader. Also, Tim Shields moves into second. Tim Billings into third. Clancy back to fourth. Gary Donaldson fifth. Claxton takes the white flag. He's opened up maybe a 2-3 car length lead over Tim Billings in the corners. Maybe a little bit more than that down the back straightaway, but it looks like the old master, Gene Claxton, is going to pull one off here tonight. The first night of racing here at Lakeside Speedway is going to be Claxton, Billings, Mars, Michael Morris, and Chad Shaw. That's going to be your top five. Here comes Gene Claxton out of the car, the wily old veteran here. Waits with a lot of patience and eventually makes the pass on Chad Clancy, last year's points champion. This Grand National class is going to shape up to be real competitive this year with Claxton, Billings, and Shields moving back in. So it's going to be interesting all year to see how this plays out. But here's your opening night winner here at Lakeside Speedway, Gene Claxton in the Grand Nationals. Well, folks, here's what we've been waiting for all season. First modified race of the year here at Lakeside Speedway. And got alongside me here, number 2 son, Don, or better known on the websites as Kick. Kick, why don't you go ahead and read us this lineup? They're going to fire them off here pretty quick.
Here we go, folks. You got Tom Charles, Jeff Herbers, Tim Carrick, Aaron Morant, John O'Neill Jr., Mark Hoover, Darren Fuqua, Danny Charles, Cody Owens, John Washburn. Here we go, folks. Let's check it out.
Tim Carrick gets a good run down the front straightaway and through 1 and 2. Looks like Tim Carrick will lead the first lap here in 2010 modified. Tom Charles in second, Jeff Herbers third, John O'Neill Jr. fourth, Aaron Moran fifth. Last year's points champion Danny Charles sixth. 19 down, 6 to go. Carrick, Tom Charles, Danny Charles, O'Neill, Herbers. Carrick hits a rut. Looks like he will break something on his car and bring out a yellow flag. Looks like Tom Charles will take the white flag. 1 lap to go for the veteran. O'Neill still race for that second spot. Vinegar is going to run by him for second. But here comes your winner. Opening night. Going to be Tom Charles, Nick Vinegar, John O'Neill Jr. And the 32 of Cody Owens. And then Aaron Moran. Tom, what a way to start off your 33rd year, man. Come out here just right off the bat with a victory here in the A-Main for the Modifieds at Lakeside on opening night.
That was fun. That's the most fun I've had in a long, long time. I didn't know if I really had anything for Tim there at the end. I thought I did. I was just trying to pressure him, and everything was going my way, and he hooked a rut, and, it's just one of them things. I didn't know if anybody else was going to be close, but that was great. Saw that checkered flag. I come around for the white last year leading and had a flat, so we got her done this time.
One thing we might mention, one of your sponsors, and I understand suspension on this car, BSB. Man, it looked like she was working great.
Jay Neal is a genius. We got to talking last summer, and he says, you need to do this and this and this. And I'm like, that stuff's expensive. He said, well, we've got a sponsorship deal. He says, I think I can work you in. He says, we'll get together this winter and talk. And we did. And it took us a while to kind of get everything, back so I could get it on the car. And this is really, really the first test I've had. And I'm going to tell you what, he made a believer out of me. I mean, anybody that wants to get their race car fast, call Jay Neal down at BSB. They know what they're doing. I'm impressed.
One more thing I want to mention. We're not talking about the race much, but one more thing I want to mention, Dirtworks car. We don't see too many Dirtworks cars around anymore, and especially winning races.
Well, it's a good old car. This is actually starting the 3rd year on this car. Gary gave me a pretty good deal on the original car, and there were some things I didn't like. And Gary said, well, change them. Do it your way. So I changed some front end stuff last year, and I thought it was a little better. And I was still lacking that drive. And BSB was able to put the drive in the car this year, and I'm not going to complain. It's a good race car. I mean, I think there's a lot of race cars that can be fast. Maybe I gave this one a chance, and I just got to know it, but it's a good car. It's a good win for Dirtworks tonight, good win for BSB, good win for Eagle Racing Team. My crew needed this bad. I needed this. And one other note, this is the first feature race I've ever run, actually, and won without glasses. I would not go without my glasses last year, and I finally decided I'm going to do it this year. And this was my first race without them. Maybe I should have threw them away a long time ago.
Okay, folks, there's a man with a vision out there tonight. Your winner of the A-Main for opening night at Lakeside in the Modifieds, Tom Charles.
Thanks, Mike.
Tom.
Thanks.